Good evening. Om Shanti. Welcome.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti, good evening.
Shanti, good evening.
Om Shanti, good evening.
Om Shanti, Bhaiji.
Om Shanti. Hope everyone is doing well. So today we thought to explore the subject, how to master our mind. In Sunday's message, we heard how a sanskar of a waste thought or a waste feeling gets created. So that starts with the first step is the mind becomes impressed, or the mind comes under the influence of external situations, scenes. And so this thought was emerging that, either the mind is influenced by the external world, which we souls experience through our sense organs. So I see something and I get influenced by it. I talk about something, I hear something. So the world which I feel, I, the soul, experience through these sense organs. When I get impressed or influenced by that, I'm actually the feeling behind it is that this is what reality is. And then that's how the intellect will, cooperate, justify it, and then an impression or a sanskar is created. And so then the moment I look at something, someone, or some situation comes, then this thought pattern gets triggered. And, either I would become problem conscious or go into the past. There will be some reaction inside, maybe not outside. And so all of this, when the soul is under the influence of this, it's a thought pattern that has been created when the mind is influenced by the external world, that is when the soul is, in a way, a slave. The soul no longer has control. And so through meditation, through Raja Yoga, we are learning how to take that control back. And so today we thought, this whole aspect of mastering the mind. Mastering doesn't really mean to be very, very strict, or mastering is really the ability to control, to channelize. Of course, we can't say that we have reached a state that we are not influenced by anything outside. Of course we are. But mastering the mind is, at least we know how to channelize our energies better, so that even if there is a slight influence, that influence doesn't last. That influence is replaced by the truth, the spiritual truth. And that's where, what we are training ourselves in this journey of meditation or spirituality is to really enable the intellect to discern the reality and illusion, and to be able to use that divine insight, intellect, to say, no, this feeling, this thought, this emotion is not real. This is created by Maya. This is created by illusion. And this feeling, this thought is real. When the mind is naturally peaceful, naturally happy, naturally accepting, it is unconditional, it is then that the soul is in charge of the mind. of the inner world. Otherwise, the old sanskars are in charge. So whole Sunday's Murli, focused on this: master or slave. Am I a master or am I a slave? So let us maybe look into some aspects of mind and how do we come under the influence of mind, or how we can influence the mind as well. So we have a few slides to share. It's something which I really liked. It says, mind, it's a noun, a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master. So if the soul is in charge, if the soul is operating and the mind is working for the soul, it is a very beautiful servant, meaning that the mind will feel very happy. The mind will be feeling with all the natural qualities of the soul. It's a beautiful servant. But if the mind is in charge, so mind, all the desires, all the, wants and emotions, if they become in charge, then it's a very dangerous master, because the mind doesn't care for the soul. And so, instantly some desire will emerge and will take me away from the truth. And it will, just completely, impress or completely take charge of the soul. And the mind really doesn't care about the health or the well-being of the soul. All it cares about is that its desires should be met. And that's why, in Hindi, we say, Manjeet, Maya Jeet, Jagat Jeet. And so even before Maya Jeet, conqueror of Maya, is Manjeet, conqueror of the mind. And then towards the end is, Jagat Jeet, Prakriti Jeet, means then the soul, conquers the entire world, the matter, everything. But it starts with the mind. It starts with the mind. Right. I came across this quote today. It's really something that caught my attention. It says, if you don't control your mind, someone else will. So if I, the soul, am not in charge of my mind, then someone else, means a situation, will control my mind. Or some person will control my mind, or the past will control my mind, or the future will control my mind. If I am not in charge, then someone else is by default in charge. It's a good realization to have. So if I'm not in charge of the mind, then somewhere illusion will step in and that will take control. It's a nice quote. It says, our stress is not caused by rising pressures in professional or personal life. It is caused by responding to life with an emotionally disturbed mind. जो बाहर की परिस्थितियां हैं वो स्ट्रेस नहीं क्रिएट करती, और अगर उनको हम एक इमोशनली डिस्टर्ब्ड माइंड से रिएक्ट करते हैं तो वो हमें प्रॉब्लम्स, स्ट्रेस क्रिएट करता है. So it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Problem is in the mind. If I'm thinking too much, it's all. So everything is actually, once I gain control of my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, then everything else kind of falls into place. Right? And this is another nice quote. It says, when mind is weak, a situation becomes problem. When mind is balanced, the situation becomes a challenge. But when the mind is strong, that situation becomes an opportunity. It's all mind's game. It's all the game of the mind. Yeah. Right. So if the soul is in charge, if the soul is in control, then the mind is strong. But if the mind is in control, then the mind is actually weak. And then everything seems to be a problem. And this is a very good sign to understand where am I at. And of course, during the day, the stage will vary. Now, sometimes I may feel I'm strong, sometimes I may feel I'm weak. Right? But when the mind is weak, it means that I will always be occupied with thinking about something which I feel is a problem. But it just means that the mind is weak. Right? It just means that I need to strengthen the mind. I need to realign with the truth, realign with the divine. And sometimes when a situation is a challenge, then it's definitely better than I'm problem conscious. But still, I feel it's a challenge, so I need to work towards it. But when the mind is strong, then there's no problem. Everything is an opportunity. Everything is good. That's what Baba tells us, right? The understanding of soul and drama and having faith in the truth allows me to, because that's what strengthens the mind. And then everything becomes an opportunity. Right? Everything is for good. I like this quote by Socrates as well. It says, strong minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, weak minds discuss people. It's very interesting and very deep also, Like when the mind is weak, it will think about someone, people, this, that, from the past or anything, but it will revolve around personalities. And when the mind is average, it will think about events. Ye hua, acha aaj kya hua, phir ye hua, phir ye hua, phir ye hua. That's what we will think. But when the mind is strong, we will discuss ideas. It's like that's what when Baba says, not churning. When I churn, when I make the mind strong, then it won't go into the second or the third category. It will always be naturally towards the first category. Right? It says, be a kind, innocent child while negotiating with other people. Be a powerful master when negotiating with your mind. So that the soul stays the master. Mind doesn't take control. Like, Sunday's Murli Baba said, become a child and a master. When to be a child and when to be a master. So while negotiating with other people, be a kind, innocent child. Means no defenses. It's very innocent, like very straightforward. No manipulations, just whatever is inside, outside. Be a child. But when negotiating with the mind, because the mind has its own desires, the mind has its own, illusions. And so when I'm negotiating with the mind, then I need to be a powerful master. There is a nice little video. It's a story, and I think most of us would have, heard this story, but I thought it'll be nice to maybe revise it again. So I'll just share this story. Yeah.
Once, a ghost catcher caught a ghost and went to city to sell it. There, he met a rich man. The rich man asked him, "What are you selling?" Ghost catcher replied, "It is a ghost. This ghost has immense power, and no matter how difficult the task is, he can complete it within minutes." Rich man was a big businessman. His business was spread in many countries. He was tempted to hear the praise of ghost and asked, "What is price of this ghost?" Ghost catcher replied, "Only 500 coins." Hearing this, the rich man was surprised. He said, "What? Just 500 coins? He does all the work so quickly, and still his value is so less. Why?" Ghost catcher replied, "Sir, this ghost has innumerable qualities, but there is one big flaw. If he does not get any work to do, then he runs to eat the honor." Rich man thought that, "I have hundreds of business and work to done. This ghost will get tired, but work will not end." Thinking this, he bowed the ghost. As soon as rich man bowed the ghost started saying, "Work, work, give me work." Rich man was also ready. He immediately told him many tasks at once. But ghost was much faster than his thinking. Ghost completed all the work within minutes, as rich man said it. Rich man was happy, but after few days, he started to get nervous, as almost all of his work already was done by the ghost, and he did not understand what work he should tell him now. And if he does not give any work to the ghost, he will kill him and eat him. He started worrying day and night, and slowly, his health also started deteriorating. By chance, one day, a monk came to rich man's town. One of the rich man's friend suggested him to go to the monk and ask for solution for his problem. The rich man went to the monk and told him the whole story of ghost. After listening to rich man, the monk laughed and said, "Don't worry at all. Its solution is very easy. Do one thing. Ask that ghost to bring a long bamboo with a lot of knots and bury it in your courtyard. Just tell him work you want to get done, and when there is no work, then ask him to climb up and come down that bamboo again and again, and keep counting the knots. This way, your work will be done, and he will not come after you when you have no work." The rich man did this, and his problem was solved. Now, whenever he had any work, he would ask the ghost to do the work, and when there was no work, he would ask him to keep climbing up and getting down the bamboo. If we see in our lives, then we will find that this ghost is none other than our mind. As long as our mind is engrossed in some work, it is fine. But if you want to keep it free, even for a moment, then it runs to eat you. Whenever your mind is free, different type of thoughts starts coming in it, and most of these thoughts are negative and bad. Then this mind start to distract you. That's why never keep your mind idle. As long as you have some work, keep it busy in it. Breathe is bamboo, and when you have no work, always watch your breath come and go. With this, your mind will not remain idle, and bad thoughts will not arise in it. If you keep practicing it, then slowly, you will also start swinging in the swing of all kinds of happiness and peace.
Most of us have heard this story. It's a very simple but very important point. And all of us, I can completely resonate with it. When the mind is engaged in some work, something, then then it's fine. But as soon as you let it free, then it'll either go in the past, it'll, imagine something, it'll be worried about the future, it'll, keep, so all the waste will start coming. And so I really liked in the story, said, okay, go up and down and count the knots, how many times. And that's why, I really feel when Baba says that, how many times are you practicing the drill? Just go to Paramdham, experience you are a soul, then come down. And go to the subtle region, feel you are an angel, and then come down. And so I really felt that, that's the technique that, Baba is telling us, is to always keep the mind engaged. It could be a drill, it could be, murli, it could be churning, it could be service, anything. But the intention behind it is to keep the mind occupied. And when the mind is occupied in actually a spiritual, task, then there's no room for those old sanskars to come and then, get activated. Otherwise, because, the soul on the journey through many lifetimes has already accrued so many such sanskars and thought patterns that will again and again and again influence the mind. And so really like this practice, it's to, go up and come down, go up, come down, to count how many times. And so once Baba said, 12 times practice being a soul, 12 times practice being an angel, do it for 8 minutes, so that the mind is busy. So my attention is only there. Everything else is fine. Whatever is there, it's fine. It's not my responsibility. It's not my problem. Things will happen on their own. Yeah. And so,
Baba says, no, the mind is busy, you're safe.
yeah.
And in English, they say an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Very good. Yes. Very good. Right. So, this is another quote. I think we've all read this as well before. It says, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it is open. It only works when it is open. And so when I'm internally busy and just experiencing, experimenting with the spiritual truths that I'm learning, in the spiritual life, then that opens up the mind. And when the mind is open, it will work. As soon as the mind is closed, means the mind is locked in the story world. The mind is always thinking, okay, this happened, that will happen, what will then? All that is, the mind is locked. And when mind is open, the mind can actually fly. And then we can experience God's company. Then we can experience meditation. There's another little tips that came across. It was really nice. It says the 7 important guidelines in life. It says, when you're alone, watch your thoughts, by Daniel Ali. It's very nice. It says, when you're alone, watch your thoughts. When you're with friends, watch your tongue. When you're angry, watch your temper. When you're with a group, watch your behavior. When you're making money, watch your pride. When you're in trouble, watch your emotions. When God starts blessing you, watch your ego. Just just to stay grounded in reality, and so that my attention is always inside, so that whatever is happening outside doesn't influence the mind. So my attention is on my thoughts, my speech, my temper, my behavior, my pride, my emotions, my ego. Externally, situations may come, may go. And so when I train the self such that I am just focused on the self, then I slowly and slowly begin to gain control, mastery of my thoughts. It's a nice quote. It says, offline is the new peace of mind. Right? These days we can connect to it, not to say online or offline. And so during the day, just like in that video, going up and down, it's like becoming offline. So just to stay offline, I become offline for some time. Offline means no thoughts of the drama, no thoughts of the past, no thoughts of the future. Nothing exists. It's only I, the soul, and the divine, and my family of souls in the world, beyond sound, beyond space, beyond time. I'm offline. I'm not available. And then, I switch when there's a task to be done. I come back, turn on the DP, it's online now. And then the task is done offline. And that's the new peace of mind. Yeah. And then there's nothing that can actually influence the mind in the story. And this, if we really boil down to, all this to very simple, like this, a very simple realization that allows the soul to stay in the master consciousness is just, Baba tells us every single day, and we've heard it. It says, who am I and who is mine? Main kaun, mera kaun. The moment, a few days back, this thought was coming. The moment I feel someone, something, or anything is mine, what happens is I have given myself permission to come under their influence. So whatever I feel is mine, it will influence me. Consciously or subconsciously, it will influence me. Whatever or whoever I feel is mine, including this body, including this character, including this mind also, because this mind is also not mine. Whatever I think is mine, it will influence me. And then it will take control of the mind. That's what happens actually. And so deep spiritual effort is this, really tell myself, no, this is not mine. No, this one is not mine. No, this is not mine. This place is not mine. This role is not mine. This whatever, because all that will make me feel insecure at one level or the other. And so the more I keep myself free from mind, let's say a mind free from mind, a mind free from mind, right? And the more I subconsciously keep this practice very firm, it's then that what we hear and always says is, and even in the Sundays, Murli Baba told that it's not Tan Manabhav, it's not Dhan Manabhav, it's not Buddhi Manabhav, it's Man Manabhav. Be mine with your mind. This deep realization that's only the one who is mine. Everyone else is through him, is through the divine. It's not mine. They are all God's. So this job is God's job. This, place is God's place. This life is God's life. Relationships are God's relationships. Task is God's task. So this is like the inner effort that makes the mind free from all the waste and anything, right? And so the more I kind of go deep within and talk to myself and really convince myself, convince myself. And the other day this thought was coming. We hear words like, bodiless, egoless, formless, viceless. We can say storyless. Less means bodiless means body is not mine. Viceless means vices are not mine. Ego is not mine. Formless, this form is not mine. And this deep effort has to really happen. Like that, this has to be the backdrop of my spiritual efforts. Otherwise, something will happen, and anything in the drama, and now, as we all know, the situations in the drama is getting more and more intense, right? Worldwide, we know how things are, playing out, and everything will influence the mind. Right? And only when I'm soul conscious can I be of any help, really, in God's task of, establishing the golden age. Be it whoever, whatever souls are going through in this moment in time, throughout the world. Especially all of us, God's children, our responsibility is to keep our mind free for God, so that God can use our mind. God works through our mind. And that's what service is, through the mind. When the mind is free from all the mind, and the mind is available for God, God can use our minds to really spread God's vibrations in this moment, where everything is in, we know what is happening, right, around the world. And so this is what really being a master of the mind is, to really be free from all the limited mind, right? Probably share another little slide. It says, to the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. To a mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Means then I don't need to chase after any desires. I don't need to chase after getting things done. Or the only task is internal, to make the mind silent, still. And that happens through this deep realization that only the one is mine. And then I come under the influence of the divine, because the divine belongs to me. Right? And when the soul is in charge, then everything else falls into place. Right? So let's maybe take a few moments to just reflect and go a little deeper as we gently realize that whatever is happening in the world of expansion, in the world that can be experienced through the sense organs, is external world. I, the being, the soul, I'm completely separate from the whole world. Things of the physical world will come, will go, will change. I realize that there's nothing and no one in the story world that really belongs to me, the soul. As a soul, as a guest, as a point of light. I belong to the dimension of silence. I live there, and from there I've come here in this physical story to play my part. I gently turn my attention to the soul who eternally belongs to the divine, the soul who is taken care of by the divine, the soul who is unconditionally accepted, loved by the divine. I switch off everything else. I become offline and I come in the presence of the divine. My mind is opened up like a parachute. It flies up to be in the sky with the divine. The mind is strong. Everything seems to be an opportunity. I, the being, the soul, I have come to life in my home of light, in being still. I surrender myself to experiencing the divine. I let go of the entire story. And at this moment, it's just I, the point of light, in loving presence of the divine. My mind rests on the divine. In this moment, I am Manabhav. Completely bodiless, formless, and filled with the beauty of the divine. And now silently I come back into the story world, knowing that whenever I'm free, I have the option to keep on doing this inner work of going back home, spending time with the divine, and coming back. And keep the mind engaged in doing this inner work throughout the day. Om Shanti. Shanti. Thank you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, family. So I'll keep a pause here and like to open up for thoughts and sharings. Shanti. Anyone would like to share something?
Lots of new good point came out. सौरभ भाई बहुत अच्छा लगा जो हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं कि सोल आई एम सोल आपने माइंड के थ्रू वो सब आज करवा रहे हो कि when my mind is bodiless, egoless, homeless and voiceless, and that's what we practice. अब जब बाबा कहते हैं कि अशरीरी बनो देह अभिमानी बनो तो आज माइंड को इंस्ट्रूमेंट बना दिया तो that also it really help a lot कि mind और soul both need to be, I mean body both need to be with all these ways. Then जैसे आपने कहा only if then we are close to God and God can use our mind, then we are master of our mind, and that's really I enjoy that. आपने ये भी अच्छा बताया कि the mind that is still, the whole universe surrender. जब mind still हो जाता है तो then we are really like all the way up. फिर तो हम बन गए ना गाड़ी ये गुण आ गए ना सारे हमें फिर.
It's right. God's mind is still, right? Completely still. Right? Very nice. Yeah.
वो कुछ बहनें करती है ना जो आपने कहा कि इन सब से दूर हो जाना है, ये थॉट जैसे पुराना है जो पुराने संस्कारों को वो कहते हैं ऑफलाइन टेक से फास्ट कर रहे हैं. वी आर फास्टिंग फ्रॉम द टेक्नोलॉजी टुडे.
Right. Yeah.
तो ऑफलाइन हो जाना हर चीज ऑफलाइन.
Offline.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's beautiful and powerful.
Thank you. Kiran, appreciate it. Thank you. Any other inspirations?
सॉरी सौरभ भाई एक पॉइंट और जो आपने कहा ना परिस्थिति हमें स्ट्रेस नहीं करती, ये हमारा माइंड जब अपसेट होता है या ये ऑफलाइन होता है या फुल ऑफ वेस्ट होता है तब हमें परिस्थितियां अपसेट करती हैं. देन वी आर हलचल में आते हैं.
So true. Yeah. Harsh.
Yeah, English. Om Shanti. So this is a very topic at the time concerned. The matching with the time. Because when our mind is clean and clear, our problems are over. And when our mind is confused, then everything is confused. And we cannot get out of that problems or circumstances or time. And when mind, there is a one saying that man ke hare har hai, man ke jeete jeet. From your mind, you can lose any game. You may be a loser if your mind is not under your control or it is not cool and calm. And at the same time, you can have victory over anything if your mind is cool. Because so many problems comes in the life. There is one small story that there was a king and a saint gave him a mantra. Never lose your heart. Things may come and go. He simple thought that it may be simply a simple thought, but he kept that thing in his mind. One day, while he had gone on in the forest, in the jungles, he missed the way and he entered in the enemy's territory. And he was so much worried that I am alone. And he heard the sounds of many soldiers coming on the horse. Then he got started panic, shaking. Then just that thought comes to his mind. Things may come, things will come and go, but keep your mind cool and calm. So he thought and he stopped all the other thoughts and simply he said, the things will come, go. Things will normalize. After some time, the sounds of horses, they have gone away and away, far and far.
Disappeared.
Then after some time, he comes out and slowly he entered into his own territory.
All kingdom. Right.
And he saved his life. And our thoughts are like this. And just that the picture was shown, that mind was above the sea. So it is also, this is simply iceberg. That 10% of icebergs is above the sea. And 90% is beneath the.
Yeah.
So whatever we are seeing is only 10%.
Yeah.
And the only thing with that cool and calm mind, we will not lose our goal. And when things may come and go, it is everybody's life. Because it is simply simple harmonic motion, the waves, they flow in this directions, ups, downs.
That's right.
And when it is screw up, then we are going upward. And when it is screw down, then we are going downward. So if you are keeping our target higher and higher, then we are going up and up. Though things may come up and down. So this is a real good thing. And the present conditions of the world, this is right. All the things, this is all a liquid. Anything can happen. And now this is a time for keeping our minds cool and calm and give vibrations through our mind to all the souls. The souls who are departed and the souls who are, they are still there. They're busy in their jobs, whether it is positive or negative, but so they can control their so minds, the uninstalled mind should not control the. If mind is stable and balanced, then that will not damage the things. Om Shanti.
Right. Very nice. Thank you. Great. Any other thoughts anyone would like to add?
Shanti.
Shanti.
Sorry. Okay, sorry, I joined late, so I'm just listening actually. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Shanti.
Maybe we can listen to a song. It's a beautiful song to end the meditation.
surrender to you. Mana Baba, Madhya Jiba, Mana Baba, Madhya Jiba. I rest my mind on you. It's all I want to do. I give this life to you. I surrender to you. Mana Baba, Madhya Jiba.
Shanti, thank you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, family. Have a nice evening with Baba. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Shanti.
Saurabh Bhai. Wonderful class. Thank you so much. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you, Benji. Whole session was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, family. Have a blessed day, everyone. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you. Om Shanti.